Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by Adventure Cave Tours. Live a day in the life of a real adventurer with Adventure Cave Tours. And the Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Hey, it is Thursday, another warm day. It's weird that we're in the 90s for this time of year, but we're going to be 90 today, 92, 94.
Really, 90? I thought it was closer to 85, but who's counting?
90 today.
Yeah.
90 today. So Get ready for it. Summer's hanging on. We need the pools to be open.
Here's some news for you, starting with this. A man in Stratford owes the federal government $500,000 in restitution for unpaid taxes. The small business owner pleaded guilty in federal court to filing a false tax return, claiming only $15,000 of income for the 2018 tax year. The feds say he used money from the business to pay for $612,000 in renovations to his house in Stratford and to cabins in Colorado in both 2017 and 18. Professional sports teams in Missouri are working on getting sports gambling legalized. They've submitted 4 initiative petitions that could end up before voters on the ballot next year. We'll see. The teams involved include the Kansas City Chiefs, Royals, and Current, as well as the St. Louis Cardinals, Blues, and City Soccer Club. Sports betting has failed in the state legislature in the last few years, so the coalition of sports teams is trying this as an end around to let voters decide rather than legislators.
An end around is a football term. See how that worked?
I see what you did there.
Yeah, they're trying to get around. The legislature and have voters decide. So that's interesting. I'm not sure why they're for it so much, other than it keeps interest. Maybe they get a cut somehow. I don't know.
They probably get a cut somehow. I'm sure that they do because, I mean, it is. I don't know. I'm slanted. I worked for a senator for a year of my life, and it was all forms of gambling I've decided are absolutely horrific, even sports betting. But that's because I took constituent calls about how it ruined people's life every day. So anyway, I know there's a lot of sports gamblers out there and they love it, but I'm just telling you, you better watch out because you're going to be mortgaging your house, second mortgage on the house, giving away your wife's wedding ring. I mean, these were the stories that I heard every single day for a year. So,
yeah, I've had friends who've had big time gambling problems, and it's almost wrecked their marriage. Phil Mickelson just came out and said he was addicted to gambling, and it ruined his time with his family as his kids were growing up. So that's interesting. Anyway, well, we'll see whether that passes or not. I have a feeling it will. Enrollment at Missouri State University for the fall semester is just 166 students shy of the school's all-time record that was set in 2018 for attendance. But the freshman class did in fact set a new record for growth year over year. This year's freshman enrollment is up 504 students. That's 22% over last year. That's a pretty big increase. The total number of students enrolled at MSU this fall is 24,224.
That's awesome. Go MSU. Yeah. That's cool.
More stats now, not nearly as good. Springfield area's unemployment rate climbed again in the month of August. It now sits at 2.9%, up from 2.8% in July. Still considerably lower than the unemployment rates in St. Louis and Kansas City, which are 3.7% and 3.4% respectively.
All right. The Summit Preparatory School in Springfield just got $20,000 from the Springfield-based Schneider Foundation. That foundation has given nearly $2.2 million to Summit Prep. That school is located on Walnut Lawn near Campbell in the former Mercy Fitness Center building. Pretty cool. 3 new clothing stores and 1 food cellar are now open in the Battlefield Mall. The Normal brand, Kimberly and Company, and the Rally House are now open. The new food store is Astro Alley, which apparently sells candy, popcorn, cheesecake, and some other yummy treats.
Yeah, those all sound good.
I've not heard, I've heard of Rally House, but I've not heard of either of the other 2. So, or 3
the
really.
The Normal brand is out of St. Louis.
Oh, interesting.
I wasn't aware of them either, but now they're here.
Cool.
Boy, I don't know if you've seen this video, but it is unbelievable. The brazen theft that's getting so out of control in several U.S. cities, so much so that stores are being forced to leave town. They can't even stay open. It's insane. It's a situation for Target stores in at least 9 locations in New York, Washington State, Oregon, and California. Organized theft rings are robbing the stores blind. You may have seen the video. Dozens of people breaking windows to get in and or running in while the store is open and stealing armfuls of merchandise and either running out or just walking out because they apparently have no fear of being arrested or getting in trouble. Because of the laws in some states, the stores are powerless to really do anything about it as it's happening. As a result, Target is closing stores in some cities and moving out completely. And, we've seen other stores, pharmacies, Walgreens, CVS, put almost the whole store behind
Bars. Yeah.
And people have to tell them what they want. It's just, it's like it's not even America when you see some of the video of these large gangs of people just stealing stuff.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But honestly, we felt that way walking through Seattle.
Yes. Well, some of this is in Washington State and Oregon.
So that's a mess.
I don't know what's happening to our country, but this kind of lawlessness isn't sustainable. We can't do this. It doesn't work. Lawlessness doesn't work. And it seems like in some cities, some bigger cities, that it's allowed. In fact, I don't know the specifics of it, so I probably shouldn't comment on it. But it was a California deal, and it's a mess out there. I'll tell you that much.
But yeah, Seattle was not just the theft, but the drug problem. And I love Seattle. Like, I loved it. We really enjoyed our time there. But wowza, it did not seem like America. And I've traveled the world quite a bit, and I was like, whoa. Because it's not, it's so blatant out in the open. And I'm not talking about like marijuana and alcohol. I'm talking illicit drugs. Crazy.
Yeah, we walked by right on the sidewalk in the downtown area. We walked by people who were so
out of their mind.
Out of their minds on
that they had no idea that we were like inches away from them. Just completely out of it. And it was sad.
Like in a trance, almost asleep with their eyes open. It was really sad.
It was heartbreaking. And so many of them were young. Listen, if you're watching this podcast and you feel like you need to go plant a church, that is a place for you. Seattle. You're welcome. There's your word from the Lord that you were looking for. All right. Dobermans, as in the dog, are taking over the Expo Center in Springfield through Saturday this week. It is the 96th annual Doberman Pinscher Club of American National Show and Convention. Breath. That means more than 400 well-groomed Dobermans will be strutting their stuff all week, and some will be competing in agility and other skills contests, which will be quite a sight to go see. It is open to the public and free to attend.
Yeah, I bet that'd be something to
you said yeah, and your voice cracked. That was funny.
The dog show that we watch on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know, live in person though, which is kind of cool.
Right. St. Louis Cardinals legend Adam Wainwright has thrown his final major league pitch, and he went out as a winner. Not just a winner in that game, but the winner of 200 games during his career. The 42-year-old who pitched his entire career, 18 full seasons with the Redbirds, says he's at peace with it. The Cardinals manager said, quote, to walk off the way he did at home, ending on a curveball, fans on their feet, the ovation after he came out, all of it, there's not a better way to go out. And I would agree that that's true, unless, of course, the Cardinals were perhaps in the playoffs or the World Series. But alas, it was a regular season.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time I read it was the first time in 30 years that the playoffs, the baseball playoffs are going to start without the St. Louis Cardinals, without the New York Yankees, and without the Boston Red Sox. First time in 30 years that's happened.
Wow. Well, all right. And I mean, I guess you have to hang it up at some point, but it's kind of sad.
I mean, I love
It is kinda
Wayno.
sad.
Wayno loves Springfield. He comes here and eats. But last year was probably the year. I mean, he got to 200 wins, so that's good. This was just a tough year all the way around. He was injured a couple times, had some rough outings. Last year, it was the big going away farewell party for Albert and Yachty. He was kind of part of that, but then he stayed on. So I don't know. I'm happy for him. He's a good guy all the way around. That's for sure. He's just seems to be a man of character and a whale of a ball player and a pretty funny guy too. So I like
Yeah.
him.
Which I know you admire that.
I do.
Like a fellow funny guy. Okay. All right. McDonald's is about to drop some new sauces. Who doesn't love a good dipping sauce, right? One is called Sweet and Spicy Jam and is a breakfast sauce. The other is called Mambo Sauce, which is apparently also sweet and spicy. They will be available on October 9th for a limited time.
I do love
like
dipping.
a good. Me too. I love dipping. Yesterday,
dipping.
you'll see it on our debit card statement, and then you can shoot me later. But I took Griffin to Chick-fil-A and got him some little breakfast chicken biscuits. Even though we had breakfast at the house, I know he talked me into it. But the amount of dipping sauce that kid uses on a biscuit is pretty unbelievable. I'm like, the apple did not fall far from the tree.
Well, he likes good flavor.
Yeah. So anyway, it was just funny because it reminded me of you.
He likes good flavor.
He likes good
nothing
flavor.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. So we were telling you yesterday about the AroundTheOzarks.com website where you can go register to win your chance for either 2 tickets to home games for the Kansas City Chiefs or a signed jersey. Either way, super cool. So we want you to go to AroundTheOzarks.com and you can get entered. What you do to enter is you guess the score of the game. So you combine
total score,
the total score between both teams. Like, so if Kansas City is going to score this and the Bears are going to score this, you guess the score overall without going over. So we've already had 3 ticket winners, 2 tickets apiece. And so this next one will be to go to the game against the Denver Broncos, which is happening on October 12th. So that's exciting, but you have to go to AroundTheOzarks.com and guess the score of the game without going over.
There you go. And it's, I mean, you don't have to be a football genius to do this.
Correct.
Literally, it's a number between probably, 1 and it'll, pick whatever number you want. But if you're going to combine the scores from both teams, the scoring starts at 3. So, you know what I mean? That's the lowest score you can pretty much get in football.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool. It's called the Guess the Score giveaway. So it's fun. And it gets people involved in the podcast. So we hope that you will do that. And we've had some winners. So Cecilia was the last one.
And great prizes. Chiefs tickets and jerseys.
Yeah.
Jerseys. That's pretty
And
impressive.
it's one or the other, but you get to pick. Like, would you rather go to the game? If you can go, then you should do that. But if not, maybe you're a collector, then you get a jersey, a signed jersey. So that's fun. All right. That's all, folks. We will see you back here tomorrow morning. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Here's your host, Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Thursday. We are starting a really nice stretch of weather beginning today. And if you are missing summertime, well, you are in luck because temperatures are going to be inching upward each and every day. And we are talking about numbers getting into the 90s as we approach the end of the week and get closer to the weekend. A little too hot for my liking, but I know some of you are missing those warm temperatures. A few pools maybe still open at the end of September. If it's heated, lucky you, because it will definitely be warm enough to hit the pools as we head into this weekend. I bet the area lakes and rivers are going to be busy too, although the water's starting to get kind of chilly with some of the cool nights. This morning, we are waking up with temperatures in the low 60s and sunshine is in the forecast for your Thursday. I expect we see a whole lot of sunshine for the rest of the day today with a high temperature today in the mid 80s. A little bit of rain on the radar yesterday, some cloud cover around through the afternoon. And now we're going to focus on a warm end to the work week. High temperatures every single day in this extended forecast, mid 80s to low 90s. It is going to be kind of toasty here for a couple of days. I have numbers that are going to climb as we get closer to Friday and Saturday. In fact, Friday may be one of the hottest in the forecast, with several folks making their way into the lower 90s. Mostly sunny, though, each and every day. Not much even in the way of cloud cover, and certainly nothing in the way of rainfall. We are looking at a dry stretch of weather, kind of hot though, so you might want to plan activities around the morning times, the evening hours, when it's a bit more pleasant to get out. Temperatures are going to be really warm as we head into the weekend. They'll stay that way through early next week, and I showed you the outlook for the early part of October yesterday from the Climate Prediction Center, looking like we're going to stay on this nice, warm, toasty pattern through the rest of the day. Today, we have a southwest breeze, dry conditions through the middle of next week, really. And it's this big ridge of high pressure that's building in, starting now, lasting through the weekend, that's going to hold its pattern and allow for the summertime temperatures to build in, not just for us, but it's still, it has never stopped feeling like Texas. Summertime in Texas, portions of the Southwest have just been downright hot and continue to be through the end of this week and through the weekend. I see some sort of signal that we see a breakdown in this overall pattern late next week. So we're talking like a week from today, when our next upper level system will likely be pushing through and allowing for some cooler temperatures and a little bit of a rain chance. Today, though, that's just not in the cards for us. I've got mostly sunny skies, southwest breeze, as I mentioned, and you are looking at a high temperature this afternoon of 86 degrees. This is actually one of the cooler days in the extended forecast too. I have numbers approaching 90 tomorrow. I think we're approaching 90 again on Saturday. Sunday, we're still in the mid and upper 80s, and we stay there through Monday and Tuesday of next week. Whole lot of sunshine and generally low temperatures are going to sit either side of 60 degrees. So comfortable in the morning and the evening. And then the afternoon, that's when things are getting a little bit uncomfortable. Around the country, though, we're really talking about tranquil weather. There's not a whole lot happening. And a lot of that is brought to you by that big ridge of high pressure that I was just talking about. It's bringing us above average temperatures. It's cutting off our rain chances. And while the tropics have been active, there's no big signal that a huge storm is going to develop. So great news, as we still have about 2 months left of the hurricane season. Additional rain chances are in the forecast for Florida. I've been mentioning kind of an active pattern for our friends in the Southeast. That will continue for the rest of the week. So what may happen across the country the next few days is that you can see a few headlines on some flooding potential in Florida, some activity in the Northwest too, but that's about it in terms of active weather across the country. All right, I want to show you that wake up weather brain twister question that I left you with yesterday. This one had to do with Halloween. On average, about how much did each American spend on a Halloween costume last year, according to Bankrate? I saw a lot of accurate guesses here, probably because this is what people kind of try and stay in the realm of, and pleasant surprise to me because I always like to spend less. D, the answer is correct. $35 on average. But again, that's for each Halloween costume. Also, according to Bankrate, last year total, so for the entire Halloween holiday, this includes candy, costumes, parties, things like that, the average American spent about $100 total, and 35 of those would have been allocated to their costume. The biggest chunk of that $100 spent on the Halloween candy. It is so expensive. I know we find ourselves doing that too. The neighborhood's really active, and it's like, oh, I'm going to go spend a bunch of money on this candy, but I can't buy it too early because then I'll eat it and I'll just have to buy more. That's the trouble we have at our house every year. Decorations take up a big part of that too. And then costumes are in the third spot at $35. At the bottom of the list, but on the list, dressing up your pet. A lot of folks say they spend about 20% of their Halloween budget on their pet's costume. I do not have Ike and Charlie a costume yet this year either, but I may need to think about that, because it's getting close. We have a chicken costume for Charlie. Sometimes he's a chicken or a rooster. And Ike, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. What he's going to be for Halloween. If you have a good idea, let me know. All right, here is your wake up weather brain twister question for tomorrow. This is the one I will leave you with. Which of these facts about sharks is actually true? A, do you think most sharks have bad eyesight? B, blue sharks are not really blue. C, sharks have the same type of teeth. Or D, sharks have no bones. Which of those facts do you think is actually true? A lot of people assume all of these things. Which one do you think is the right answer? Let me know. You can answer that over on the Around the Ozarks Facebook page. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Despite being a little bit on the warm side, this is really a nice stretch of weather. So I hope you get out and enjoy. And if you need weather information, you know where to find it. AroundTheOzarks.com. Thank you for listening to Wake Up Weather early this morning. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and I will chat with you early tomorrow morning.